Sip Girish. I can't see Sip Bartolom. Sip Vinita, Sip Tina, Sip Bliko, Sip Pankaj, Sip Ranjana, Sip Sudeep, Sip Ajitek, Sip Rajender, Sip Sangamji, Sip Ashok, Sip Anil, Sip Krishna, Sip Ru, Tanu, Sip Ganesh. And the rest of you, I am still trying to see you all into the call. It's a Friday. I can see Shair coming in, and Bliss, and Vanita, and Chandra. Slowly, people are coming into this call. And Krishna, Sip, welcome to all. And we are going to start today. Today is an interesting call. The first 30 minutes is my opportunity to give you the happy mantra. Now, we spoke about this. I believe that we did a small snapshot of it. But I have come to the conclusion that everybody in this world wants only one thing. They want happiness. Whatever, whether you want success, whatever you want, ultimately, at the end of the day, you want happiness. And how can you be happy? And we have the formula. Today, I am in Jaipur. We came to do a recording of, in my FM, we are doing a video recording. And everybody I see is only looking. There was a man, he was smoking a cigarette. And I asked him, do you know why you like to smoke a cigarette? What is the reason? He said, yeah, I know. Because a cigarette makes me happy. I get all my tension, all my stress goes away when I smoke a cigarette. How many people you know who smoke a cigarette, although they pick up a packet? And in some of the foreign countries, they show horrible pictures on the cigarette packet. They show you a cancerous picture. And they tell you that they don't say, like in India, cigarette smoking is injurious to health. They say cigarette smoking will cause death and cancer. That cancer and death, they say some very strong things. But what do? We want happiness. Unfortunately, we don't know the happy mantra. And today we are going to discuss the happy mantra. Who does not want to be happy? Everybody wants to be happy. But nobody knows the way to eternal happiness. Sometimes we are glad, sometimes we are sad. So I wish by the end of these 30 minutes, you should become a champion. Let me see how many of you can tell me the happy mantra in your own words. Let me see at the end of this session of 30 minutes, how many of you will take home a way to live with this happy mantra and be happy all the time. There's a way to eternal bliss. People don't know. That's why people are chasing success. People think success is happiness. You remember the happy mantra? It's HAPPY. Don't forget it. And don't think I'm repeating. No. You need to become a champion. You need to become an expert. So let me see, even after these 30 minutes, let me see how many of you are experts. That's my challenge to you today. H, happiness is success. Not success is happiness. We have been taught lies. What we taught in school has made us a fool. We have been taught in school to come first in class, to be school captain, to be a winner. We have been taught to become rich and famous. For what? For what? Today I was listening to a video of two very famous spiritual people. And in that video, the two spiritual people are talking about what is spirituality. You know what they say? They say in the video, spirituality is doing your work well. How can spirituality be doing your work well? So unfortunately, we have somehow been caught with the myth. We don't realize the truth. We are following the herd. We don't fly like a bird to explore. H, the happy mantra. H means happiness is success. All successful people are not happy, but all happy people are successful. All rich people are not glad, but if you are glad, then you're already wealthy. Be clear. Don't run after pleasure. Pleasure is ephemeral. Don't run after momentary pleasure. It's of no use. Desires, what did Buddha say? Desires will make you miserable. Desires will not quench your thirst. They will make you burst. When are you going to realize H? You know, there's a very interesting story. I don't know how many of you have heard this story. I don't remember telling you. There was a professor who called many students. And I like to have coffee, you know that? Whenever I start my call, you'll always see coffee in my cup. The professor took a jar of coffee and he poured it. But the professor had about 12 cups. There were 12 students. He had 2 paper cups. He had 2 paper cups. He had 2 plastic cups. He had 2 glass mugs. He had 2 crystal mugs. And he had 2 very fancy, ornate mugs. And he had 2 metallic mugs. And he put coffee in all the 12. Quickly, the students, they picked up the metal mugs, the ornate mugs, the crystal mugs. Nobody picked the paper cups and the plastic glasses. Then the professor said, do you see? All of you picked the expensive mugs. You all picked the expensive glasses. But the coffee is the same. The coffee from my jar, from my flask, the coffee he made in a flask, and then he was talking to the students. The mug or the cup does not make better coffee, right? What makes good coffee is the coffee. But our focus is on the cup, on the mug. We are looking at external things for happiness. You miss the real taste of coffee, the real taste of happiness. So, my dear friends, this is just a small story I love to tell you. Can material possessions give us bliss? Oh, never, never. If you're one of those who are trying to be happy with people and pleasures and possessions, you are sure to be unhappy. I can guarantee. Who are the really happy ones? The real happy ones are the ones who go beyond momentary pleasure. The real happy ones know the happy mantra. What's the happy mantra? Happiness is success. Pleasure is not happiness. Therefore, we have to learn true happiness. I always like to sing this song. It's a new song, but it's one of my favorite songs. It says, Khushi to har koi chahe magar maza jo hai khushi nahi, pal bhar ka sukh to khushi nahi, ananda hai sukh aur shanti, सफलता तो खुशी नहीं है, सफलता तो खुशी नहीं, पैसों से ना मिलती खुशी, चीजों से जो मिलती खुशी, पल भर की ये तो है खुशी, मिले कैसे सच्ची खुशी, मिले कैसे सच्ची खुशी, मिलती नहीं सच्ची खुशी, आनंदा तो है एक स्थिति, इस स्थिति में तो है शांति, शांति में जो सदा जीता, यही तो सच्ची है खुशी, चीजों में तो खुशी नहीं. When are we going to learn, my dear friends, that material pleasures is not happiness? The happy mantra, 1H, happiness is success. A, Happy. A, accept without protest. How many of you have captured the A of the happiness mantra? The A of the happiness mantra tells us whatever is happening as per karma. So don't try to resist. Oh, don't, because you are going to become miserable. You know, I love to tell this story. I don't think I've told you all. Because I've told you this person going in the park and the bird shits on its head. I told the story. No? So I like this story, one of my old stories. So this guy, he goes to the park with his friend. And this guy has a very, very strong habit. I don't know how much bliss tells this, bliss will tell or not. Anything happens, bliss, you know what he'll say? He'll say, praise the Lord. Oh, thank the Lord. Oh, praise the Lord. So as they were going to the park, there was a banana skin. So the friend slipped. He said, praise the Lord. Pagal, mad fellow, praise the Lord. Then he went in the park and a bird shit on the head. And when he said, praise the Lord, the friend, he lost it. He said, this is bloody too much. What do you mean? The bird shits on your head and you say, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. What do you mean by it? You know what he said? He said, praise the Lord that elephants can't fly. Imagine if elephants were flying over in the sky, then what would have fallen on the head would be enough to make us dead. My dear friends, we don't realize, A, accept without protest. Learn to be happy no matter what happens. Everything is happening as per karma. Don't try to resist it. It is your own deeds. It's being settled. Rejoice. Rejoice with whatever happens. Be content. Be fulfilled. Accept and be happy. If you want to be happy, H is happiness is success. A, accept without protest. There was an interesting story where a traveler, he was going with a shepherd. You know, the shepherd, they pull the horse or they carry something when we go in this terrain. So he asked the shepherd, what kind of weather are we going to have today? The shepherd replied, the weather that I like. So this foreigner was a little perplexed. He said, hey, shepherd, how can you tell me that you will have weather that you like? Correct? How do you know? How do you know what the weather is going to be? It may rain, it may be a storm. So what did the shepherd tell this man, which he learned a lesson from the shepherd? He said, sir, I found out one thing. I found out I cannot control the weather. So because I cannot control the weather, I have learned to like whatever weather comes. So whatever weather comes, I like it. Because I can't get the weather that I like, but I can like the weather that I get. Remember this? I can't get the weather that I like, but I can like the weather that I get. This is the art of acceptance. Those who learn to accept, they are happy, my dear friends. Therefore, accept. If you accept, then everything is a drama. If you don't accept, you will find a trauma. Realize everything's happening by karma. How many times, you must be bored of me telling you, but how many times I tell you the same thing? Happiness is success. Accept. खुशी से जियो नाटक है ये कुछ ना सच्चा सब आते जाते सुख दुख दोनों रंगमंच पे ये आते जाते प्रभु की लीला है जो भी उसकी मर्जी है हमको स्वीकार करना है खुश होके हमें जीना है प्रभु की मर्जी है हम तो बस कलाकार हैं हम आते और जाते हैं ये उसकी ही तो लीला है मंजूर करना है कबूल करना है हमें खुश रहना है. Happiness is not so complicated. We make it complicated. So 1, H, happiness is success. A, accept without protest. P, peace is the foundation of happiness. You want to be happy? Then learn to find peace. And peace you cannot find. It is within. You have to still the mind. You can attain peace if you still the mind. As long as the mind is jumping like a monkey, you cannot have peace because the mind has got EY in the tail. The monkey mind has got EY. EY means ever yelling, ever yearning. The monkey mind is ever yelling, ever yearning. Cut the tail. Cut the monkey's tail, make it a monk. And some of you must be thinking, how many times you will tell us this? Yeah, but how many times I tell you, are you doing it? How many of you can tell me, I don't have monkey, I have only monk? Huh? Today, many of you must have suffered because of the monkey. Today, in the last 2 days, I have been very stern with my monkey. I have not only killed the, I decided not to cut the tail of the monkey. I killed the monkey itself. I said, I will not kill your tail. I'm going to kill the monkey itself because the monkey will grow back the tail. I'm going to kill the monkey itself. Remember this. सच्चा सुख क्या है, शांति में है जीना, शांति सुख की बुनियाद है, चैन ना हो तो सुख कहाँ है, खुशी शांति में खिलती है। यू एग्री? खुशी शांति में ही खिलती है। सो ऐसे सच्चा सुख क्या है, शांति में है जीना, शांति सुख की बुनियाद है, चैन ना हो तो सुख कहाँ है, खुशी शांति में खिलती है। How can you have happiness if there is no peace? If there is no peace, you will be in pieces, my dear friends. Therefore, I hope you remember the happy mantra. H, happiness is success. A, accept without protest. P, peace is the foundation of happiness. P, purpose. If you discover the purpose, purpose discovered is enlightenment. Purpose discovered is enlightenment. Have you discovered your purpose of life? Then you are going to be happy, because the fourth P, HAPP, makes us realize that truth consciousness that comes in Satchit Anand. You reach that state of Ananda. You reach that state of complete bliss that comes from truth consciousness. When you realize you are the divine soul, when you realize that I am the divine soul, unfortunately, people are so confused. Oh, the soul will be reborn. It is my soul and your soul. Even I think yesterday, but when did we do? We are still confused about how my soul and your soul, and is the soul different? No, don't be confused. We did the journey of the soul. Be clear. Be clear. Our purpose will lead us to enlightenment. You will activate the intellect. This is the goal. सत के चित्त में जो आनंदा है. Fourth P, सच्ची खुशी तो सच्चिदानंदा है. सब दुखों से मुक्त होना, सच्चा सुख तो यही है. सच का एहसास जो है करता, दुखों से वो मुक्त हो जाता, यही तो सच्चिदानंदा है. Will you remember? सत के चित्त में जो आनंदा है, सच्ची खुशी तो सच्चिदानंदा है. How many of you enjoy Sat Chit Anand? Hare, Sat Chit Anand. Now, if you enjoy, you will forget everything else. But for this, you need happy mantra. HAPPY. What is Y? Y is that yearning. Yearning of body, mind, and ego. Stop it. Stop that yearning. Give up that yearning. By realizing you are the divine soul. When you realize I am the divine soul, then you will live as a soul, not as the body, mind, ego. You will be in yoga. And the yogi, who is not body, mind, ego, he is the divine soul. He is free from all misery. But we have to reach that state. And to reach that state, it's very important to follow the happy mantra. I'm giving you so many songs. How many times I made you hear this? Have you not? Ashok, Nichani, and Shair. I think Girish used to also remember the songs. Have you not remembered this? मन ही खुशियों को चुराता है, दुखी तो मन ही कराता है, खुशियों भरा जग प्रभु का, इसमें इंसान क्यों रोता है, मन ही खुशियों को चुराता है. खुशियों के पीछे हम भागते हैं, इस पल में खुश हम ना रहते हैं. जो खुशी हमें आसानी से मिलती, उसका महत्व ना जानते हम. जीने की वजह तो कोई नहीं मरने का बहाना ढूंढता है. We don't know how to count our blessings. How many of you count your blessings every day? How many of you have this habit of saying a gratitude prayer? Oh Lord, I'm grateful to you. Oh Lord, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this. Every day I start my day with a prayer. Every day I start my prayer. Although I know I am a manifestation of SIP, gratitude is on my lip. Because if you have no gratitude on your lip, you cannot become SIP. When you have this gratitude and you have the grace of the divine, then you reach that state where you don't need to have gratitude. But it starts, you must express that gratitude and evolve to that state of Satchit Anand. Happy, right? Remember the story of the monk, that Ramakrishna Mission monk. In Ramakrishna Mission in Belur Math, it is told that every Friday when the Aarti is performed, the Pujari performing the Aarti is given one thanda glass of lassi, one big glass of lassi. And that old monk was given this thanda glass of lassi one day. He just took a spoon and he gave back the lassi. And the junior monk told him, Swamiji, kya hua? You don't like this lassi. Other people, when they get this lassi, 1 hour they're drinking the lassi sip by sip, thanda lassi in the summer. Swamiji said, that senior Swamiji said, he said, because I like it too much, I'm not having it. Not because I don't like it. I have renounced it. I don't want to crave every Friday. I don't want to do the puja to get that big glass of lassi. My dear friends, we have to learn to give up yearning. There must be learning to give up yearning. We must live in yoga, not in bhoga. Because bhoga appears to make us happy. Huh? Somebody asked me, why we should not be in bhoga? Why only yoga? I said, because if you are in bhoga, then you will get roga. You know, roga? Roga means disease. If you are in bhoga, then you will get roga. So don't get roga. Eliminate bhoga. Be in yoga. This is when you are. So my dear friends, are you clear with the happy mantra? I do today is simple. Simple. Happy. If you teach 4th standard child, he can remember for you. Happy. H, happiness is success. A, accept without protest. P, peace is the foundation of happiness. P, purpose discovered leads to enlightenment. Y, yearning of body, mind, ego causes misery. Give up the yearning. Happy. Give up the yearning and realize happiness is success. Don't chase success. Don't chase achievement. Many of us are trying to excel. You know, today somebody was talking to me, what is Six Sigma, and what is Kaizen, and what is Ikigai, and what is TQM, Total Quality Management. And how does it matter? Huh? Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Muramatai. Oh, what is it, Ikigai, Six Sigma? What is it going to do? When are you going to go beyond it? When are you going to be in Satchit Anand? When are you going to be in that consciousness of truth, which has bliss, which is greater than any happiness? You know, this world is fooling itself. Because everybody wants to be happy. Everybody on this call wants to be happy. I can tell you this. But we are unable to be happy. We are living miserable lives because we don't know the happy mantra. Happiness is a state of being. Don't try to become happy. Don't try to become successful. When something wrong happens, accept it. It's your own karma. Learn to surrender. Surrender completely. Don't have any protest. And then still the mind. Because peace is the foundation of happiness. And find out the purpose of your existence. Who am I? Why am I here? This will liberate you and take you to Satchidanand. And stop the yearning. Stop this yearning. Stop this yearning. because this yearning is sure to make us miserable. This the Buddha said. What does Buddha said? This world is full of dukkha. Dukkha is because of desire. This unhappiness is because of desires. This is the essential teaching of the Buddha. The Buddha says, give up this desire. Ye chahiye, ye bhi, wo bhi, sab bhi. Prabhu bhi. Prabhu bhi. Prabhu, you also come in the bag. When you're packing your clothes, when you're going to beach for holiday, what do you say? Shorts bhi, t-shirt bhi, swimming costume bhi, chhatri bhi, Prabhu bhi. Prabhu bhi bag ke andar dal. Then how can you have happiness? Because you're so cluttered. You know, my dear friends, along with the happy mantra, let me tell you one thing today. And I would like administrator to make note of this probably the next Friday. I don't know whether we will have regular sessions because I'm going to London for a book fair. But I want to teach you all how to live in today. How to live in today. I'm asking administrator, maybe if not the next week, the week after. We have got already a subject planned for next week, but I want to talk to you on this. How to live in today. Because we are all living in yesterday and we are living in tomorrow. We don't know the meaning of today. Today we have lost today. Already it's gone. Your today is gone. Have you made the best of today? And those who live the happy, those who are living this mantra, right? This happy mantra, they know. They know the meaning of how to live it today. So my dear friends, we are going to quickly get back into the question answer session. But before we do that, summarizing today's talk, what is today's talk all about? Today's talk is one, do you want to be happy? Do you want to be happy all the time? Do you want eternal happiness? Learn the happy mantra. Don't just learn the happy mantra, live, Happy. Be happy, not successful. Because if you're happy, you're already successful. Accept, surrender, live with peace and with purpose. Stop the yearning and you will be happy forever. The happy mantra is a simple mantra. I can challenge you. You live the happy mantra, and if you're not happy, I can do anything for you. But you should live the happy mantra. I want you to live it on a daily basis. So next week, either we will talk about today or we will talk on, I think Shair asked me the question. Shair told, are you on the right path? Are you progressing on the journey of enlightenment? Shair, aapne ye pucha tha mujhe कि how do we know we are on the right path? How do we know we are progressing on this journey of enlightenment? So I think I have been inspired. Shair, aapne ye to pucha tha na? So we have dedicated one session to that subject. How can we know that we are in this journey, which is the right journey? So my dear friends, there we are. We have, I think I have reached the end of my 30 minutes. And let us, administrator, with your permission, I want to stop and give them the unmute on any questions that they would like to ask, or we can get on to the happy mantra and see how many people are in this happy mantra. Yes. Yes, who's going to start? Well, many days I've not, I so many days I've forgotten to ask who's spiritual champion, because there's so many champions now that I don't have to ask that. Before I can say 10 people are already with their hand up. Come on, Bliko wants to start. Yes, Bliko. As I told you, you should know the happy mantra. That is one thing I want from you, but you can ask me any question.
Sivoham, everybody.
Bonus.
So happiness mantra is definitely, a key to be successful and happy, because happiness is success, and accept without protest, and we should have peace of mind and purpose in the life, and then stop yelling of body, mind, and ego. Then we will be definitely happy. Now, my question is, like you said, and we also, realize that we are divine soul, right? And everybody is divine soul. But in practical, we see people miserable, people unhappy, arguing with each other, fighting with each other, running after something, running away from something, right? To, like, you see that people are struggling. So if the divine soul is there, then there should be an attribute of divinity. Then only you can because knowing and realizing is different. That we know, that even if you know that you are divine soul, but if you don't realize that I am divine soul, then I will not be, possess that requisite. So I want, because I read your book for realization of yogi. In that you have given attributes of yogi. Same thing, like divine soul has some basic attributes associated with it. Like if I'm thinking, my thinking should be divine. If I'm speaking, my speaking should be divine. In my action also, there should be some divinity. Otherwise, what the use of having divine soul? And like that king's son was in the shepherd's shepherd has grown up then, and he was thinking that he's a son of shepherd, and he was living the simple life unless somebody find out and tell him that he is the son of the king. He's a prince. So same thing happening everywhere, right? So what do you say about that attributes?
No, but see, the soul is the soul. The soul within is the soul. Now
Correct.
we don't recognize it. What you should do is, some of you, if you want to know, please, I used to talk of this story 20 years back. But
Correct.
you go and you find out the story of a company called Kimberly Diamonds. Kimberly Diamond story is that there was a diamond mine, and that person, he sold that diamond mine for peanuts, and he went away. And the people who took the diamond mine, they just spent little effort and they found the vein of the diamond and they become billionaires. Now, it's not that the diamond was not there, but that foolish farmer, he did not recognize that there was diamonds. So don't say that the attribute of the soul has to. The attribute of the soul will come if you recognize it.
Correct.
Today, if you think you are Bharat, then you cannot be Bliko. The moment you start thinking, you realize I am Bharat living in consciousness, I am Bliko, then you are blessed. So don't expect the soul to knock at your door and tell you, hello, Mr. Bharat, I am the soul, I'm inside you, okay? No, the soul will not do that. The soul is who we are. Unfortunately, we have been ignorant. We are living in Maya, we are living in Avidya. Now, Bliko, we have to get out of that. That is the Bliko, if that is not the problem, then what is the purpose of human life? The purpose of human life is only this.
Discover, yeah.
You know what's the meaning of life? You know? What's the meaning of life?
Liberation.
Krishna, you know? Huh? Yeah, tell me.
Liberation, remove ignorance, and found the purpose of life. Find enlightenment.
So Bharat moved from mind to consciousness. So for those of you who are new to the call, there's a book. It's called LIFE. Life is LIFE, liberation from ignorance and finding enlightenment. LIFE, life is that. When are we going to understand what is life? Chalo, okay. Rumataji, thank you, Bliko. So I hope you got the answer. The soul is there. We have to discover that we are the soul. Rumataji, bataiye.
Nam Guruji, Shivoham.
Shivoham.
Guruji, the picture along with the message, the girl is standing with closed eyes and having flowers in her hands, is showing seamless and eternal bliss. She is one with God.
And your happy
mantra is great. Happiness is success. A is accept without protest. Peace is the foundation of happiness. And next P, purpose discovered and get enlightened. And last is no yearning for body, mind, and ego. Only yearning for God. प्रभु तुम ही चाहिए बस और कुछ नहीं चाहिए.
तो बाजी अगर हम ऐसे जिएंगे ना तो हम आनंद में जिएंगे. We will be, but are we, tell me honestly, are we living in Anand all the time?
Guruji, we try our best.
No, that's not my question. My question is, are we living in Ananda all the time?
Not all the time.
That is the challenge.
Most of the time.
Our challenge is to be in Ananda all the time. Then we have, Rumataji, then we have attained enlightenment. What is enlightenment?
Yes,
enlightenment is that state where you are living in Ananda all the time.
Satchit Anand.
So that is the goal.
हाँ जी गुरुजी.
That is what that is the whole. अगर हम एक कॉल पे डेली आते हैं और हम ये नहीं कर पाते, मतलब ये कॉल ही बकवास है.
नहीं कॉल तो A1 है. हम we are the culprits.
No. So we have to, if we want to make the best of this 40 minutes, we have to become icons of happiness. We have to become images of bliss, of joy. Okay?
Yes,
Krishna.
Yes,
Krishna. Krishna. Yes, unmute Krishna.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, Krishna, good evening.
Can I ask a question or the happy mantra?
No, you can ask a question or you can talk of the happy mantra, whatever you like.
Yeah, happy mantra is very clear. My question is, we are not chasing pleasure, but how can we be indifferent to pain?
You are not chasing pleasure, but how can you be indifferent to pain, correct?
To pain, body pain, and the suffering of others when we see before us.
When you reach the HAPP, when you reach the fourth P of the happy mantra, the P means that purpose discovered is enlightenment. When you reach that fourth P, right, then what happens? Then you realize you are the divine soul. You are not the body, mind, ego that suffers. The moment you are not the body, mind, ego that suffers, then what is the problem? You disassociate. You disassociate yourself from all suffering. Today, who suffers? Krishna. Who suffers? It's the body that suffers physical pain. It's the mind that is living with fear, worry, stress, anxiety, depression. It is the ego that's living with anger, hate, revenge, and jealousy. We have to be free. We have to be free from the body, mind, and ego. When we are free from the body, mind, and ego, then there is no suffering. We have to reach that state. You agree or you have any doubt in this?
Yeah, not for me, but when I see outside, when it's too much of suffering outside.
Who told there is suffering? There is no suffering. When you're watching a movie and they say Amitabh Bachchan is full of blood, it's actually full of blood. It's no drama. There is trauma because you don't understand it's a drama. And there is trauma because you don't realize it is karma. If you realize it is karma and you know it's a drama, then there is no trauma. Don't just nod your head, because did I show you all that China dog I brought? Did I show you? I didn't show you. Please remind me. I brought a Chinese dog. The Chinese dog is on my table, and when I hit its head, it goes like this. Have you seen? It's called a nodding dog. Have you seen? I showed you or I didn't show you? So what is important is we have to absorb this. By us just saying yes, no. Let me tell you one thing. For a Satchidanand Atma, there is no suffering. Now you will tell me, hey, you're crazy. How can there be no suffering? Well, the world is full of suffering. World is suffering for whom? For the ignorant one. For the ignorant one, the world is suffering. If you break your leg, You say, I broke my leg. Correct? I broke my leg. Yeah, but you're relating to the body because it's you're thinking that leg is you. But the moment you disassociate from the body, you know, one day I have to leave this body and I have to move on. Then when there's a pain, I always tell people, kill the pain before the pain kills you. And ultimately, if there is suffering, if it is your own karma and you have planted certain deeds which are returning because of the seeds you have planted, accept it. Be bold enough to accept it and move on. Okay? I mean, are we okay? Or you're
Yes,
still...
sir. And yesterday's
you are
question
accepting,
also.
You're accepting
Yeah.
with a heavy heart. With a very heavy heart, you're
No,
accepting.
not my because yesterday one more the fourth P worked for me yesterday beautifully because I sat with that question, and once that I understood, it was such a joyous experience. You know, when I understood that what you said, I don't know why I couldn't understand yesterday, and that also, so I can understand when you realize when that cloud of ignorance is gone, it is a blissful experience.
Correct. Because, you know, it's, I tell you why, what you're saying for the benefit of those in the call. So we were talking of the journey of the soul. Many of you did not realize it that time. Then later on, you realize it. It's like when somebody shows you a picture and it's scribbled. I don't know how many of you have seen this picture. And they show you the picture. And then they say, how do you like the picture of Jesus? And you look at the picture and there's no Jesus there. And you say, what Jesus? There's no Jesus. And they see properly. And you see properly, there's no Jesus. And after you look, say, oh yeah, I see Jesus. I can see Jesus. Have you seen picture like that? These are called, please Google, they are called optical illusions. It is such a joy when you look at an optical illusion. There's a picture of a parrot, a beautiful blue, red, and green parrot. Have you seen the picture?
It's a lady.
Ah, yeah. And then suddenly the lady moves her hand, and it's a lady who's painted like a parrot.
Right.
So we need this aha. It's called the spiritual aha. It's not everybody cannot get the spiritual aha, but we are trying. We are trying hard and we are getting. Thank you. Ruth Anu, Bliss, and Krishan. Ruth Anu.
Shivam, Guruji.
Namaskar. Tell me. Bolo Ru.
Guruji, yeah, the happy mantra H is happiness is success. A is accept without protest. P is peace is the foundation of success. And
Of
again,
happiness.
P is purpose we have to
P.
discover.
Yeah.
And Y is we should have yearning for sip. We should not be yelling mind.
Okay.
And
You
ego
added
should
a
not
few
be
words of your own in the mantra, but no problem. It's still okay. It's still good to go. Huh. So good. So any question or you're going to use the mantra?
No question, only acceptance without protest becomes difficult.
Why? Tell me why you should not accept without protest. Explain to me.
Because sometimes if we are stuck in something and we get thoughts, then we feel why.
Yeah, because that
Why
means
did
we
it
are not
happen?
that means we are not realizing 2-3 things. We are not realizing everything is happening as per karma, and we are not realizing that it's a drama. That means you are surely going to have trauma. You want trauma? Come and take mine also. I'll also give you mine. I'll give you my quota also. Happily, I'll give you my quota also. Come and take it. So I'm giving you a mantra. I'm giving you a
I don't
mantra.
want to become a burden.
No. See, let me tell you one thing. I can look at your face and I can tell you something. You are not realizing that you can't control people's actions, but you can control your reaction. That's why I told you no RDX. Don't react, destroy, and explode. No RDX. RDR. Respond. Don't react. Because the moment you learn to respond, some things are happening in your life. What can you do? You can do nothing about it. But you make a sour face and you look at the mirror. What will happen? How does it help? Things are going to get better because you cry, because you keep on you mourning and you're sad and you're upset and you'll become very happy after that. Snap out of it. Snap, flip over, flip from net to pep, flip from mind to consciousness, flip over. You know what I tell yourself? You know what you should tell yourself? If I can be glad, tell yourself, remember this by heart, repeat it. If I can be glad, but I choose to be sad, then I am mad. What did I say?
If I am glad,
if I can be glad,
I can't be sad.
No, if I can be glad, but I choose to be sad, then I am mad. You're not in are you in consciousness? Are you listening to me, or you're in mind state?
No, I'm trying to listen. Yes.
Okay, take the word from me on WhatsApp if you're not taking it from me. Bliss.
Yes.
Bliss and Krishan. Yes, Bliss.
Hi, Shvandir.
Bliss, tell me.
I would like to say, first thing, I don't know if you see each morning, but my cup, it's with earth. To remember to love everyone and to love myself. And if I love myself and I love everyone, I love all ourselves. And always in my coffee table, I have my flag. To remember me to be happy all the time.
Very good.
And I have always my coin aussi. Remember to stay in consciousness and remove my mind, kill my mind, to stop yearning for everything I don't need.
Very good.
I would like to say now the mantra, happiness mantra. I will say in English, and I want to say in French also.
Okay.
Because if someone fall on the skull, it will be maybe a help from someone.
So you have written in French, HAPPY, in happiness in French?
Yes, I translate.
Yeah,
so happiness is success. Don't run after pressure that comes from achievement. Accept without protest. Be content in life with fulfillment. Peace is the foundation of happiness. Still the mind in live in consciousness. Purpose of life realization lead to enlightenment and bliss in true consciousness. Stop yearning in this body, mind, and ego. You make you unhappy, realize they are soul, and be liberated from all suffering. I will say in French now. Le bonheur et le succès ne couraient pas après les plaisirs qui viennent de la réussite. Acceptez sans protester. Soyez content et vivre avec accomplissement et satisfaction. La paix est le fondement du bonheur. Calmez l'esprit et vivez dans la conscience. Le but de la vie est de réaliser et de arriver à l'illumination et à la félicité dans la conscience de la vérité. Le désir en tant qu'esprit, corps et ego vous rend malheureux. Réalisez que vous êtes l'âme et soyez libérés de toute souffrance.
Very well. So you should open a website with a French website. My team is around. So Bliss is coming from Canada to India. She is coming in August, and she's coming, and because she wants, so when you come, you meet the team and you shake them and tell them to open websites, and you come to our institute, AiR Center, then you come and do everything there. Very
Yeah,
good. Very
this
good.
will
Liz.
be
Thank you.
very funny to be there and enjoy everyone. I
That
hope I will be able to meet many persons we see on the
Yes,
and
you will meet
I know.
everybody. You will meet everybody. Krishan, thank you, Bliss. Krishan.
Thank you so much.
So
Shivam Guruji.
Bliss is 1%, even though she has the disadvantage of she's French, but she's on this call from so many years. And she's trying to even translate, she's translated the book Karma in French. And now she's trying to translate the happy mantra. So this is the commitment. This is the commitment to the journey. Yes, Krishan, bolo. Thank you.
Guruji, in morning when I'm in conscious, I decided that I have to be in Satchit Anand. Whole day I have to focus on inner happiness, but in the daytime or every time mind comes and I involve in pleasure, running behind the temporary pleasure. I observe all those moments. I know that these are not these are temporary pleasure, which is not good for me, for my inner happiness. They stole my inner happiness, but I can't control that time. That can't control my mind on that time.
Therefore, what is your question?
So how can I control those moments? I know that in the evening when I observe all these things, I feel sad for myself that I'm running behind that pleasure.
But what is the use of you feeling sad after you are running behind the pleasure and you are losing your control? So remember this, you are riding the horse. If you do not hold the reins of the horse, then the mind will become the boss. If you want the mind to become the boss, it will make you miserable. It's up to you. You have to have the resolve. I'm asking you a question. If somebody gives you a mug of poison and they tell you this is very good poison, it's very, very good poison. If you immediately drink it, you will die on the spot. Will you take it and drink it?
No.
No, because you know it's poison. You want to live. So you have to be very clear. You have to be absolutely clear that I don't want the mind to make me miserable. M-I-N-D. Mind means what? Mind is misery. Mind is ignorance. Mind is negativity. Mind is desires. Mind makes you miserable. Mind creates ignorance. Mind creates negativity. Mind creates desires. You have to remove the M-I-N-D and you have become a monk. The monk is the master of the mind. M-O, only in yoga. N, no desires. And K, karma is transcended. You say, no, I don't want to be part of this karma. I want to be in Satchidananda. So, Krishan, I am not telling you that this is a very easy journey. I'm not telling you that. But it's a possible journey. The journey of Satchidananda, the journey of eternal bliss, the journey of truth consciousness is not difficult. But we have to be strong. If we are not strong, then we will go wrong. No, you decide. You want to be strong or you want to go wrong? You decide.
I have to be conscious in all the time.
Very important. Being in consciousness. And if you want the next level, Sat Chit Anand. Not only Chit, consciousness, but consciousness of the truth that will give you bliss.
Okay, sir.
But I think there's a lot of improvement. I think you're getting better day by day, but be committed. Be committed to your own happiness. Don't you really want to be happy? We are blessed in this group on the Zoom call every day. We are blessed with such a simple happy mantra, H-A-P-P-Y. It's so simple. Why can't we follow? We should follow. Okay, Rekha. Thank you, Rekha.
Thank you, sir.
I did not understand the meaning of dharma.
Dharma. Have you Googled?
Yeah.
Dharma means your moral responsibility, your religious or spiritual duty. Suppose it's your dharma. ये मेरा धर्मा है, प्रभु की पूजा करनी है, गाय को दूध पिलाना है, whatever you've got to you घास खाना खिलाना है. You've got to be able to know what is your moral responsibility. But they say there is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. The ultimate dharma, the ultimate duty is moksha. The ultimate duty of life is moksha. So, thoda bahut Rekha, you have to study before asking questions. This is a very basic question, so you please study.
Dharam, what is dharam?
Same.
Dharam, same. They say that everybody has different dharma.
Of course, dharma of a king is different. Dharma of a Brahmin is different. Dharma of the mother is different. Dharma of the father. Everybody has got their own duty. Na? Dharma is duty. So Vinay.
Guruji, Shivam.
Shivam, sir.
Guruji, what is the karma of a young child? Why he suffers?
The young child is not suffering as much as the parents are suffering. And the young child, if it is suffering, it is experiencing a karma which is beyond our understanding. Suppose a small child is crying. Suppose a small child is born with a serious problem, a serious kidney problem, or it's an organ failure. The child will cry and cry and cry and cry till it dies. Why? Is it because God is cruel? Is it because SIP is cruel? No. This is what inspires us to be free from the cycle of karma. When you see a child will cry so much, you know the child may be a baby, right? But the mind and ego that is in the child that is suffering is carrying the past karma. Do you have any doubts, Savina? Do you think this is just a fairy tale, or you understand clearly?
No, Guruji, my question is little different. The child is suffering because of the separation of parent, and he is very reluctant to stay with his the parent with whom is in his custody.
No, so be more specific. Be more specific for us to have a specific answer, right? So you're saying the child is unhappy because of not physical reasons. You're saying the child is unhappy because it has lost its parents.
No, the child is unhappy because their parents are being separated. The child, mother and father is being separated.
That is happening in 30 to 50% of the families today. So what?
And the child is not happy with staying with his mother.
Okay.
So, and he is suffering. So what is the reason? It is his karma or what?
Karma is playing across the board. How old is the child? How old is the child?
The child is 12 years old.
The child is 12 years old. So the child already is experiencing its own karma. The child has its own karma. So the child is unhappy because it has a past karma, not a present karma. The child has not created any new karma. It is a prarabdha karma, the prarabdha karma which it has brought. So all these things are reformative. The law of karma reforms us, makes us realize this poor child is suffering. Not because, forget about the fault of the mother and father. The child has its own karma. What can you do about it? So, on our part, we have to do our part as much as possible to try to help the suffering by doing good karma. Suppose we are the neighbor, or we are the friend of the family, or the friend of we know the child. We do our part, and we try to help as much as we can. That's karma yoga. Doing that in the bhava of karma yoga. Okay. So good, my dear friends. Today we have reached the end of 30 minutes. On Fridays, we will not take this forward unless you have some more questions. We have finished 30 minutes of talk and 30 minutes of question and answers. But if you have any more questions, 1 or 2 questions, I will take. Otherwise, we will end. Anybody has any questions before we close? The happy mantra. Anybody wants to recite the happy mantra, or anybody wants to ask any other question? Then we will close. So when you have no questions, means I understand that you either you know everything or you know nothing. if you if you if you know nothing, then we will meet back tomorrow at 8. But I think I'm just joking. I don't mean it, right. So I think it's a very clear subject, my dear friends. Before I close, let me just recite the happy mantra once for you. HAPPY. H. Happiness is success. Don't chase success and become unhappy. A. Accept without protest. Live with contentment. P. Peace is the foundation of happiness. P. Purpose discovered leads to enlightenment. And Y. Yearn for the divine. Don't yearn as body, mind, and ego. The yearning for the divine will create that deep bliss, mumukshutva. It will create happiness unknown to man. So with that note, I'm happy today we are able to end slightly in time. Normally we are dragging too much, but I thank you for your presence, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 with folded hands. I bow down to you.